Greetings everyone, welcome back to the channel. Remember to like, share, comment and subscribe. Alright, so for this video I'm going to go into details about the update that CXC sent for the 2021 exams. Alright, so I know that many of you might be a little bit concerned as to what CXC is going to do because we are currently still experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic, right? Many of you probably your classes are still online, or some of you might be fortunate to be having face-to-face classes. It is very difficult to actually teach and learn during this pandemic. Boy, this is something that we've never experienced before. However, learning doesn't stop. We can't put learning on pause because the world is continuously moving. Though some countries might be on lockdown, some persons might be under certain restrictions. Like in Jamaica, we currently still have a pandemic. May I talk gibberish? Yes, I was just going to say that in Jamaica, we still have a pandemic. I mean, we have a curfew, that begins at 8 p.m. in the night and ends at 5 a.m. in the morning, right? And we have some other restrictions. We have to be wearing masks everywhere we go. We have to be sanitizing, you know, we have to be extra careful because we don't want to catch this virus, right? And those who probably have it have to, even if they're asymptomatic, they should stay home and isolate themselves so that they don't pass on the virus to anybody else. So I'd like to say to you, remember to sanitize, wear your mask, and stay inside as much as possible, right? Try to limit non-essential movement. Alright, now on to the update from CXC. So they gave a couple points, about 11 points. So I'll be looking down to read from my phone, right? 1. Exams will commence on June 14 and will be administered in its original format. So exams will begin June 14 and original format. This means that public candidates will be doing a paper 1, which is the multiple choice, and a paper 2, which is short answer and structured questions, structured essay type questions, right? Private candidates will be doing paper 1, 2, and 3. We know that paper 3 is in lieu of the SBA, or is the equivalent of the SBA. You can check out my channel. I have a number of paper 1s that I've gone through, some paper 2s, and a number of paper 3s too. I have about 3 videos on paper 3 on my video. I have several videos on paper 1 because my channel was started last year, and I have about 2 years of paper 2 that I've worked out. I'm going to work out some more, but hopefully I will get the time, right? So the first point is that the exam will be administered starting June 14 in its original format. 2 says, for paper 2, only the broad topics will be tested, meaning a reduction in the number of topics. The topics will be sent to the school by May 10th. You might be wondering, what are the broad topics? I have no idea. Nobody knows. So as teachers, we are waiting on CXC to send us the broad topics so that we can pass them on to you, the students. I don't agree with this point from CXC, because just at the time that they are sending out this release, they should have given us the broad topics so that as teachers we don't waste time teaching topics that will not be tested, because they realize and see that it is a pandemic. This is a pandemic. We have lost a lot of crucial teaching time. So I stress us out to teach all the way up to May 9th, wait on you for May 10th, and then we can say, oh Jesus, we should not have taught that topic because it's not going to come on the exam. They should have given us that topic now or earlier than May 10 so that we don't waste time teaching things that will not be tested. But honestly, I know. Point 3 says all topics will be tested on paper 1, right? Some teachers were confused because for social studies, right, you know that you do from individual and the family right up to regional integration, right? Those questions are compulsory. Then at section B, you will get a choice between communications, consumer affairs, and tourism. But point 3 says all topics will be tested on paper 1. So some teachers are saying maybe we need to teach all 3 options because CXC is saying that everything will be tested on paper 1. But I don't believe that the options will be tested on paper 1 because CXC has never done that before. Consumer affairs, tourism, and communications have never been tested on paper 1. It's just from family to regional integration that is tested on paper 1. Right? It's going to be so difficult to, in a pandemic where learning has been severely impacted by COVID-19, that they are going to say include all the options, because I've never yet taught all 3 options because the syllabus is so wide. So I usually just get the chance to teach 1. Only a few times I've gotten enough time to teach 2 out of the 3 options. So CXC could not be doing that to us. So I believe it's from family right up to regional integration that will be tested on paper 1. That's my belief. I don't know. CXC probably needs to give us some clarity on this. Right, next point said paper 3 will be done normally for private candidates. So I said that before. Private candidates who are not doing a SBA component will do a paper 3 instead on the day of the exam. Point 5 says this year and forward all multiple choice questions will be made new. Very few repeated, as CXC have listened to concerns from the teachers about the item question banks and is in the process of fixing same. Because remember last year the big hullabaloo over students' grades, because most if not all of the questions were repeated multiple choice questions, and persons were getting 2s and 3s when they should have gotten 1 because the questions were repeated and most of the students knew the answers to these questions. So going forward, CXC is saying that they are going to be giving more new multiple choice questions. Only a few will be repeated. So students practice with these multiple choice items, but also study as well, because CXC made it clear that they are going to include new multiple choice items. You see, as long as you know the content, then you will be able to answer any question that is posed. Right? That should be your secret weapon. Your secret weapon should not be swatting. Right? Your secret weapon should be that you are walking around with a wealth of knowledge. Carry a bank of knowledge. God said, write him word on the table of your heart, so you're not going to forget it. Write the social studies content and all other subjects that you are sitting at the C2 CAPE level on the table of your heart, so that you will remember it, because that's the only way you're going to pass. Because 6, I'm going to put a lot of new questions there. Good. 6 says, deferrals will be accepted if candidates are not ready for the 2021 exams, but CXC must be aware of any deferrals by the latest May 1st. Alright, deferrals, if you don't know, now I'm going to make it known to you. CXC has said they realize, and I don't understand how for them realization is so subjective, you know. Why them never realize and give us the broad topics from earlier? Seeing that we've lost a lot of teaching time and some students don't have access, but conveniently them realize that some students might not be ready. So CXC is giving you the option to defer the sitting of the exam. So if you feel as if you are not ready for the June sitting, you can defer to sit the exam January 2022 or June 2022. Ask your school for further information about the deferral. Ask your school, because your school will have gotten the information how you can defer. So if you feel like you're not ready, or you feel like you won't be ready for June, you can defer for January 2022 or June 2022. Next point says, UWI has made some changes with respect to matriculation to university. Right? So you probably have to go on UWI's website and read up what that means, because I have no idea what that is saying, but I'm just telling you, if you're planning to go to UWI about matriculation, because you know that the results won't come out till about September, October, thereabout, right? So you know that it's going to impact college and scholarships, right? College admissions and scholarships applications. So UWI has made some modification to matriculation rules. So go on UWI's website and read up more on this. 8, final timetable will be uploaded to CXC's website before this week finishes. So while I'm reading this, while you are watching this, the timetable should be up by now. The timetable should be up, so you can go and look at the timetable and see where your exams will fall, and that will help you to decide if you are ready or not, or it will help you to study hard and put in the work so that you can be ready, right? These decisions are final and will not be changed unless CXC sees an increase in COVID cases. So CXCs will not relent on their decision. You hear them tied to an increase in COVID cases, and so many countries are experiencing an increase in COVID cases. Case in point, Jamaica, where I'm from, the COVID-19 cases, the infection rate is skyrocketing out of control. CXC says that they're not changing their decision unless there's an increase in case. And you know that there's a vaccination rollout now, so you know more than likely CXC is not going to relent, because they saw the mishap that happened last year with the paper ones being the only paper that was administered in combination with the SBA score. So CXC is not going to allow that to reach them again. So they, by the hook or by the crook, I believe that CXC is going to administer their paper 1 and their paper 2 with the SBA. So try and know that, ladies and gentlemen. So study hard, put in the work, read as much as possible. Try and own a textbook. If you can't buy one, borrow one, because a lot of the textbooks follow follow the syllabus to a T. So it's really good information. Good. Point 9 says exam results will be released late September into early October. Good. Point 10 says CXC has given approval for the extension of SBA and IA by 1 month. Each school will adjust its collection dates accordingly to facilitate upload, which is a tedious, timely process. So my school that I am at, the SBA deadline is the end of March, right? CXC has extended it to 1 month. I don't know how your school will treat with it, but individual schools deal with their deadline differently or give different deadlines. So if you're having a problem with your SBA, talk to your teacher or talk to your vice principal or your principal to see if you can get an extension if you are experiencing any kinds of problems. Because again, we are in a pandemic, so all kinds of things are happening. Understand what I'm saying? Yes. So subject teachers are being asked to work within the timeline set by their school administrators. That's in relation to the SBAs, right? So ladies and gentlemen, CXC will be administered in its original format, paper 1 and 2. Exams will begin in June. If you don't feel as if you are ready, you can defer until January of next year. That's 2022, or June of 2022, right? You have been given an extension to submit your SBA. Well, schools have been given an extension to submit SBAs by CXC, but your school will give you the regular deadline. CXC will only be testing broad topics. They have not said as yet what those broad topics are, but they said by May 10, we will be given the broad topics so that we can adequately prepare the students or better prepare the students, right? So if you have any questions or concerns, students, please do your own reading. Information is out there. Just use Google. Let Google be a friend, right? Remember to hit subscribe, right? Thank you guys for watching. Have a good rest of day. And continue to watch the videos, because I have video on almost every topic. Yes, I continue to watch the videos on the channel. Thank you guys for the support.